Hey YouTube, J6 Honeybees here. We're out here at J6 Ranch. We're going to go in that hive that we done the split in. We're going to see how it's doing. Um, the little split and the split that we took, or the hive that we took the queen from. She should be requeened by now, and that hive should be doing good. We're really going to test out the limits on this new microphone that I'm using because the wind is just fierce today. It is really blowing. I've actually got the camera set up in the garage and facing out of the garage just because the wind's so bad. So there may be a lot of the video where there won't be talking and you're going to hear a lot of wind noise. If that's the case, just follow along. You can pretty much get the gist of what I'm doing by what you're seeing. I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. We're going to switch the boxes on the big hive. It's a double deep box. I'm going to take the bottom box and put it on the top. It's a little late for that in the season. I did that to all my other hives already, but this hive I didn't because we pulled the queen. We're going to go in there and make sure the queen's in the top. If she is, then we're going to switch the boxes. And I'll probably switch the boxes regardless, as long as I find some eggs in that hive. I know there's a queen, and we'll switch the boxes out and put the bottom box on the top, and let them build up, because bees like to build up. So on the little hive, I'm going to I may, depending on what I see, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this divider board here. It's just a board it's just a piece of wood, and I'll put that in. And see, it's for the bees. It's not scrap. Around here, if if you don't ride on a scrap piece of what looks like a scrap piece of lumber, somebody will take it and they'll cut it up. But we'll take this board and we'll stick it down in there, and we'll make the space smaller that the bees have to manage. What that does is it allows them to keep the brood warm easier. This is not something that you have to do if you've made a split like this. It just speeds the bees up, makes them more makes it easier for them to. Thanks, Rooster. It makes it easier for them bees to keep everything warm and keep the other pests out, whether wax moths or hive beetles or wasp, whatever. Just helps them protect everything a little easier, makes them build out a little quicker. So we may use this, we may not. I hope you can hear me while we're out there. If you can, I'm sorry. I'm going. My wife just fed the chickens and they're pecking on the ground, and it's hard to hear. But I'm going to ask a question of you guys real quick. My swarm traps, I don't know if everybody else is having the same problems I'm having, but my swarm traps are absolutely getting filled up with wasps. I've never had this before. I've had wasps in my swarm traps before, and I've always just been able to rake them out, but this is a lot of wasps. I don't know if this year's just going to be good for wasps or what, but for whatever reason, I'm catching a lot of wasps in the swarm traps. And I'm kind of wondering, because the spring started so early, that maybe some wasps were hatched out early, and that's what caused the swarm traps now for me to see more wasps. But hey, down in the comments, tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm in northeast Oklahoma. Tell me if you guys are seeing a lot of wasps in your swarm traps, and tell me what you're doing about it, because I haven't really got a plan as to how to deal with them yet. So hey, come along. So while I'm getting set up here, I'll let you guys watch the bees for a minute. I'm going to set you up on the hive and let you watch the bees go in and out. Make a little B-roll, B-roll, get it? Anyways, I'm going to set you guys up on the hive, and then I'll set myself up, get my smoker going. I mean, it's lit, but I want to make sure it's going, and then we'll go inside and see what it looks like. Hopefully you can hear me today. That hive that you're looking at now, that was the new hive that we had just bought from Man Lake, and we split it out of the hive next to it. We took the queen of that hive next to it and put it in that hive, and that queen, the big hive that's on the side of it there, it was queenless. And just from the front of it, it looks like they've requeened. It's hard to tell. I mean, I might get in there and look a fool, but I try to show the good and bad on my videos. So if I've messed up, I want you guys to see it. I'm kind of thinking that a lot of people are going to feel like on the small hive that I've messed up, but I want everybody to to see the reality of beekeeping. And sometimes if you don't have the resources to split your hive with a lot of resources, then you have to use what you got. And I can remember when I first started beekeeping, I didn't have enough hives to steal from. So I took as little resources as I could to do that. And for a while there, that's how I did all my splits. So now I've got more, and I didn't have to do the split, but I did it for you guys. I wanted you guys to see that it was possible. So we'll see what we find in here. Cockroach. Don't want that cockroach there. He's not gonna hurt nothing. They look okay. They don't have a lot. I'll bring you down to a better view. This wind's got them fussy. They're already buzzing me. If you're wondering, that was the top cover flying off. All right. The top cover there was leaned up, and it flew down and hit the ground. Lots of wind. You don't lose your hive tool if you leave it in the yard, folks. A lot of people don't have that ability, but it works well for me. All right, so let's see what we got here. Quite a few bees compared to what I expected to see. There's quite a few here for a split this size. You wouldn't expect to see that many. They got a queen cell there. I'll check it. And it's just a queen cup. It's empty. Not a whole lot to worry about there. I think that they're doing all right. If you remember, this was a 2-frame split. We did this split with 2 frames of bees and not a lot of bees. You can see they built out pretty quick. There was no brood on that frame, if you're wondering, YouTube. Got some brood on this frame here. You can see that. And some brood on this frame here. Some of them are emerging. And we've got eggs in there. Get closer to the hive here, so maybe we don't get our queen blown off into the yard here. Wind is not the best time to keep bees. If it's windy, it's a bad time to do that. Squashed the bee there. They didn't like it. I can tell they reacted to that bee getting squashed immediately. That was kind of neat. I wish that, and maybe you guys could see that. I don't know. So this hive isn't looking horrible. It's not looking great, but it's not absolutely horrible either. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put that follower in. And so what I'm going to do to put that follower in, I'm going to find my entrance, and it's right here. So I want the entrance, the follower, to be next to the entrance. So we'll put some frames close to that entrance so that they can have that side. And we're going to make this a 5-frame now. We're going to put our follower in. And like I said, this is just a scrap piece of board. It's not scrapped. Remember, it says it's not scrapped. But it's just a board that goes in here, makes them a little less space that they have to take care of, and gives them a little bit easier time keeping everything warm. And then it's as simple as when they build out and they got everything but 1 frame filled on this, I will go ahead and take this out and let them build out the rest. So I know you guys couldn't see it, but I did see eggs, and they had brood. So I know the queen's still there. The eggs were newly laid. You don't always have to see her to know that she's there. And that's the gist of that. We don't need to be digging at these girls any more than we have to, and that's plenty to show us what we need. So I'll set you up on that other hive, and we'll take a look at it. You know, I had a lot of Facebook comments about what all this hive needed and yada yada, what I should do and well, I could have done all that, but making YouTube videos in beekeeping and keeping bees, sometimes to make a video that's usable for a new beekeeper, I need to do things with less so that beekeepers get an idea of how to go about that. So that was the whole purpose. Of me making that split like this. We're going to take a look here and see if I believe the queen's up top. And if I think she's up top, then I will split these boxes, reverse the boxes, and put this top box here. You guys okay? Man, that wind blew right over. All right, so where were we? We're going to see if we can find the queen here, or find evidence of the queen. You're not always looking for the queen when you're in your house. Maybe just looking for evidence of the queen. And in this wind, that might be our best plan, because the more you pull this out and the more you search for a queen, chances are that you could lose your queen because she gets blown off of a frame, and that's not good. The queen in your hive is everything. That's like your wife in your house. When mom's not home, things go to crap in a hurry. And then when mom gets home, everybody's screaming for mom because everybody needs help with whatever they messed up. Same thing happens in a hive. You don't want to set a hive back by losing a queen. And we have good eggs in here, lots of good eggs. I'd like to show you guys, but I don't want to lose my queen. So we're just going to snap them back together. We'll split these boxes and get out of this hive with this wind. But what I was saying is, if you lose your queen in your hive, it's not the end all be all. You're not losing everything when that happens, but it does set them back, and it takes more time for them to get caught back up. Take a quick peek here in this bottom box. We'll just take a middle frame here, pull it out, take a look, make sure that this is the plan we want to go with. Absolutely is. There's nothing in this bottom box. They're not even building it out. So this bottom box will now be the top box. While I've got this bottom cover off, I'm going to take and clean it a little bit. Knock some of that out of there. Then I'll put what was the top box on the bottom. And I'll put what was the bottom box on the top. And like I said, the whole purpose for that is that bees like to build up. They don't like to build down. Just giving them the best chance at surviving. A lot of you are going to say this, you got your top cover backwards. And I need to do a video on that, I guess. There's a way of using these top covers for ventilation. And this hive is staying pretty warm. They got a lot of bees in it. I'm putting it on there so that this is actually an extra entrance, this top ventilation, and it lets the air go straight up and straight out, just like your attic vent on your house. if the air has to come up out of here, what this hole is for is to help you control the moisture in your hive. And this middle hole, the moisture comes up, it settles on the top cover, and then drops back down and then dries up. That's why that hole's the idea is there. In the summertime, I like to turn mine over and put the vent on the front so that it ventilates easier. I think we're done with the cold weather finally after last week. And this is the drone here. We're going to get him moved off. Put that top cover back on. That's it. So I know this is a pretty simple video that we put together here, but I wanted you guys to have an update on the easiest split that I've ever done, or easiest split to ever use, I guess is way I listed it. But if you haven't seen that video, look back, and I'll try to put it as the next video coming up after this video. I think it's listed as the easiest split you'll ever use. That's the way I had it posted. But hope this helps. Looks like everybody's doing good. The big hive here has requeened, and this hive here that we just done, and the small hive, that queen's doing good. She's making brood, and I think that it'll be all right. Yes, YouTube, I could have put more resources in that little hive, and she would have flourished a lot faster, but that wasn't the point of this video. The point of the video was to help other people out there beekeeping that don't have the resources of all these other hives to pull from, and they might want to split their small hive, and that's the way that they can go about doing that. It takes longer. It isn't a guarantee. There's some risk involved with it, but hey, if you're not risking, you're not winning, right? Thanks for watching. J6 Honeybees. See you next time.